South Africans go to the polls on May 29th, with elections falling nearly a month after the 30th anniversary of the first post-apartheid elections held on April 27, 1994. South African leaders will mark Freedom Day on Saturday, April 27th, with pomp, ceremony and lectures about the sacrifices and achievements of the African National Congress, or the ANC, in its long struggle for liberation. Ahead of the election in May, the ANC is likely to lose its parliamentary majority for the first time since Nelson Mandela led it to power at the fall of apartheid 30 years ago. A survey showed opening up the prospects of coalition rule. Here's a report from Johannesburg.
The ruling ANC, which spearheaded the fight against apartheid, has remained in power since the end of white minority rule in 1994. But overall, the country's palpable excitement during the first democratic elections is unlikely to be mirrored in the upcoming polls on May 29th. Many in the country accuse the ANC of failing to deliver on its promises. The ANC's image has been tarnished in the past decade by economic stagnation, rising unemployment and repeated corruption scandals involving its top officials.
We have reached agreement this morning between the government and the National Party, the KwaZulu government and Inkatha, and the African National Congress, which will result in the participation in the election on the scheduled dates from the 26th to the 28th of April of the Inkatha Freedom Party throughout the country.
A survey shows the ANC is likely to lose its parliamentary majority for the first time since Nelson Mandela led it to power, opening up the prospect of a coalition coming to power. The survey of voter opinion in February by Johannesburg-based think tank, the Brenthurst Foundation and the Sabi Strategy Group estimated support for the ANC at 39%, down from 41% in October and 44% in November 2022. Its current leader, President Cyril Ramaphosa, has tried to clean up the party's reputation and revive the economy since replacing Jacob Zuma in 2018, but has struggled to make much headway. Political cartoonists and caricaturists are thriving in South Africa 30 years after the end of the repressive apartheid rule. The upcoming general elections are also giving fresh new material to these talented artists who have no qualms about holding political figures accountable.
The next 5 years is going to be unbelievably scary. I mean, because we can sink so far that, you wait like 6 years for the next lot to happen. We may be gone by then as a functioning country. When you look at the indices, the Corruption Watch and all these indices at the moment we're sinking.
At the grassroots, 30 years after its first multiracial elections, the mood in South Africa is decidedly less optimistic. The Ubisi family does not have running water at home, and the streets of Lilydale are unpaved, although it is less than 3 kilometers away from luxury game reserves where tourists pay thousands of dollars per night. Jobs are scarce and many young people get sucked into crime. Vote Ubisi, his real name, still plans to cast his ballot in May, although he declined to say which party he would vote for.
My hope for the future is to see our community being successful in terms of service delivery, running water, and then the pavement in our society, because when it rains sometimes the vehicles or the cars are struggling to get in because there is some mud and it is too wet.
Over 3/4 of the Brenthurst Sabi survey's respondents said they would be happy with a coalition government. Analysts say losing its majority might jolt the party to do better on service delivery, expand the economy and address other ills like crime and corruption. But coalitions could also end up being fractious and impede already poor service delivery. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.